Hello, dear Cancer. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your February 2022 horoscope. And it is the month of love, as we know, because we have, of course, Valentine's Day on February 14th. But before we get there, because there is some movement, some planetary energy leading up to the 14th and even on the 14th. But before we do that, check out if you have your Cancer sun, moon, or rising sign. And if your sun, moon, or rising sign is in a different sign, check that out too to give you a well rounded view. So I'm placing, if you have a Cancer rising on that first house, and so that means that your seventh and eighth houses are energized this month. Perfect for the month of love because seventh house is about relationships, partnerships. It's also about the other, where we project out into the world. It's a social house now. The first six houses are more internal. Now we're moving into looking at the world from a bigger view. And this one is still somewhat personal because it has more to do with your one-on-one relationships, but it still is relationship dynamics, which we're in relationship to something all the time. And we also have a new moon in Aquarius on the 1st. So, kicking off the calendar month of February, your eighth house gets energized. So, here, Venus direct in your seventh house, as well as Pluto's still there. Now, Mars has moved into Capricorn, activating that seventh house, giving you a lot of attention on the people and the situations in which you would say you partner with or you project. Now, with this new moon in Aquarius, also in the eighth house, you may find unusual ways to form your bonds with this person, or it could be business partner in a deeper way, a stronger emotional way. It may be that you are talking about resources and the way in which you use them, who you value, and you could come up with some very unusual things. So, if you're in a bonded relationship, let's say, then you and your partner will most likely be able to set some intentions of, hey, if we wanted to expand our resources or we wanted to bond ourselves even greater, what investments can we make? Whether it's emotional investment, it's physical investment, it may be that you just spend time together and you start maybe carving out some plans or some intentions of how that looks. How does that really show up? And with Mars and Venus here, they're going to be canoodling all month in the sign of Capricorn in that seventh house. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn, meaning it likes being there, that you may stop at nothing and you'll have the drive and the energy to solidify the relationship dynamics in a way that feels good to both of you. Now, if you're a single Cancer and you're looking for love, this is a great month for you to have that determination, tenacity to really get yourself out there, make the connections, and don't give up. Even if you run into an obstacle or you have gotten a little disenchanted or disappointed when it comes to relationship, many of you are not destined to be alone. So keep that in mind. With Venus and Mars canoodling through the seventh house and making some canoodling with Pluto, we also will have Mercury. It's in Capricorn. It's going to dip its toe back into um, the conjunction or the canoodling with Pluto, and then it will move back into Aquarius this month. So you're going to have a lot of decisions and thoughts, most likely a lot of focus around partnerships and relationships. And with Venus and Mars here as well, through, and they're going to, like I say, canoodle all month long, you may find yourself really focused on that, say, sexual love or that more serious and mature way in which you approach competition and the way in which you approach relationships or finances and what you value. There is a small indication here, Cancer, that some of you have been thinking about internalizing, especially with Venus retrograde until 29th of January, that you may have been internalizing the relationships and people that you're surrounding yourself with or really wanting to deeply connect with that just don't line up. And you've held off on making a decision whether to release that relationship or to keep it going. And I feel like this is a month where you will have powerful conversations. As I mentioned, Mercury is going to canoodle with Pluto on the 3rd before it stations direct on the 4th. And so that I feel is going to energize you to say, okay, it's a do or die. It's ride or die. It's do or die. It's time for me to make this decision and to get moving with my life. And I really want to make sure that I'm productive with the people and the situations that line up with my values, that give me what I need. And there can be this feeling of usefulness also. You may be looking at your relationship dynamics and saying, it does this conversation, does this action, does this situation, does it prove to be useful to me? And there's nothing wrong with that. We use things and people all the time, as long as it doesn't become abusive. Now, I will say that with Mercury canoodling Pluto, Venus and Mars will also canoodle Pluto, that there could be some abuse situations that show up. And I will say, please get out of those. And if you need extra help, you may decide to hire a professional. That's a partnership situation that helps you fight for yourself. Maybe you've had a hard time speaking up for yourself. Maybe you are also working with someone, or you're trying to partner with somebody who doesn't assert themselves the way that they could. And you may become that one, that force of nature that says, hey, I've got the strength, I've got the chops to be able to take this on. Let me help you, especially if you are in, let's say, the couples therapy realm, or you work with coaching or anything like that. This can be a beautiful time for you to attract more clients, more finances, and more people that need someone to fight for them. Because Cancer, you are someone who is very protective, and you will make sure that no one hurts your loved ones or no one harms another human being. And you can offer your gifts that way as well. This is also an energy where you may be seen by someone as being more mature, and that you can take on a very serious energy when it comes to your relationships. While there's nothing wrong with that, and that definitely helps, especially if you're working on a particular goal or project together, just watch that it doesn't get too heavy for you. Because here we have this romantic energy, and there's nothing wrong with that, throughout the month of February, especially as we lead into February 14th, Valentine's Day. Mercury re-enters Aquarius then. So we have all this romance. Enjoy it. Don't make it so heavy or so serious that you don't get to enjoy the people who bring out the best in you. And one of the key indicators in relationships that feel really good is how you show up, how that person or that situation brings out the best in you. How do you feel? It's like Maya Angelou said, people don't remember what you do, they remember how you make them feel. And I sense that you will also find with the seventh house that your partner, if you are in a bonded relationship, or maybe you just started dating, you can use that as a data point of the health of the relationship. Or is this person, this new person I'm dating, do they bring out the best in me? Do I like who I am when I'm with them? Yeah. So those are the kind of things that you'll most likely be thinking about and energizing, and also considering and making decisions, maybe even having conversations. And I would offer, especially if you're in a new relationship, this is a good month for you to offer to this person, hey, before we start going into the commitment realm, or maybe just as we're dipping our toes in that water, maybe we should talk to a third party and do a little counseling so that we can deal with issues ahead of time, so that we can work with the compatibility, or maybe it's not compatible. But like I say, I feel that here's the two themes for you, Cancer, this month. Relationships of all kinds are definitely a focus for you, and the health of them. And if they are good, if they're not abusive, if they're not creating these power struggles, then you'll keep going and you'll keep energizing them. On the other side of this, if they aren't working for you, if they aren't in alignment, then I see you releasing at least one, if not more, so that you can then continue the work forward. Please don't get discouraged. Mercury, when it re-enters Aquarius on February 14th, the romantic nature of it has a more objective view here. And what you may find are unusual ways in which to express your love, in which to find a depth or an intimacy with someone. And it may just be your own self-care and self-love, which is so important as well. Give yourself permission to explore unusual ways in which you can become greater intimate with yourself. the better to know yourself so that you can show up for your partner or for the potential partner and say, yes, I like you. Yes, I like that about you because this is what I need. I know who I am. And you get to see if your values line up, if things are working in synergy. It doesn't mean like-minded always. It can be like-hearted. You may also find that this is on a more practical note that some of you cancers are going to be working with particular powerful people second half of February that you have to maybe plan and think about ways in which you two get on the same page and you stay in alignment because this person has an influence. Maybe you're the person that gets put into an influential position and or your clients see you as being somebody who's an expert or authority, if you will, with your words, with the way in which you communicate. And I would also say that you may find that you're reviewing contracts and you're reviewing information. Practical note, if you're looking at a joint loan or some sort of investment, or you're having to deal with the contractual things, Mercury now direct, as well as entering Aquarius in this 8th house, can give you the objective view to be able to get the details done, as well as being able to say, here's an edit that we need to make, and here's a different way in which we can approach this. And you may find that others align with that. Full moon in Leo, that's going to activate your 2nd and 8th houses. That's on February 16th. And Venus and Mars will be canoodling in your 7th house at that time. And so this further emphasizes that you may release some sort of financial burden, or you may receive, if you've been waiting for that promotion, you've been waiting for that raise, you've been waiting for that loan, that this is a time where it can show up for you. So it gives you the relief and it gives you the ability to be able to do more for your clients, do more for your beloved, do more for yourself. Now, it also has a good indication that if you're not doing something you love, or the relationship dynamics that you're in doesn't really activate that heart space for you, that you may have to have those conversations and make that decision of releasing that relationship so that you can stay in that heart space, so that there is that deeper meaning for you. And you need to feel safe. I think that's the other theme here for you, Cancer, is that safety and security are going to be two big themes that you're looking at when I talk about alignment. Does this relationship offer that safety and security? If it doesn't, what do I need to do in order to change that and deepen the trust, deepen the intimacy? And I can tell you from a personal experience, if we don't feel safe, it's very hard to open our hearts. And we need to feel safe with ourselves first before we can offer it to somebody else. But it is in a relationship, responsibility-wise, for both of you to create that trust and safety for each other. Then you can build from there. That's a solid foundation. So if you don't have that foundation, then I see you letting that go, that relationship go. Sun enters Pisces, activating this 9th house for you. And that's on February 18th. And so you'll start to feel as though you're ready to expand out into the world. You're ready to offer your gifts. If you feel as though you've had a little bit of inertia, or it still has felt like it's a little more internalized than you would like, this is the time after this full moon in Leo and the sun entering Pisces, where you start to broaden your horizons. Maybe you need to travel. I know Cancer has a tendency to like to stay at home and cocoon themselves. However, you may find yourself going, you know what, to create deeper trust and intimacy, we need to get out of town. If you're partnered with somebody and you enjoy traveling, you may find yourself traveling for work, or you may also get your opportunity to create more abundance in your life with the sun in Pisces in this 9th house through long distance connections, long distance relationships. I'm also seeing a lot of you Cancers bringing in more financial gain during the month of February because you have these far reaching contacts and you're connecting, traveling, even if it's connecting through the computer, whatever it might be, that it has an expansive quality to it, bringing you more of what you need. All right, Cancer, I really hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com. And of course, if you need an individual session, come find me. I look forward to supporting you. Have such a great month, Cancer.